This video is walking you guys through your first essay assignment, and this essay assignment is an argument essay. So this assignment really demonstrates your understanding of how to write and construct an argument using logical reasoning, evidence, counterarguments, refutations, all of that. So the prompt is pretty simple. You are going to create an argumentative essay with a clearly stated position on an issue of your choosing with solid and relevant evidence. So you get to pick your own topic, but whatever you pick is subject to instructor approval. That is because you're going to actually keep the same topic and stance for your second essay. For that essay, you will be adding research, which will require an interview with a subject matter expert that you conduct, and internet research as well, and the scholarly articles. So I want to make sure that whatever you choose to talk about is going to set you up for success, not only in your first essay, but your second essay as well. So in this analysis, you need to choose a topic and a stance. So the clearly stated position would be your stance on the issue, which means that you simply can't do pros and cons or look at both sides of an issue. You need to argue one side or the other. It's okay if you personally don't have a belief in one side or the other, but for the purposes of this essay, you have to adopt one side or the other. So the essay is going to be 3 different pages in length and is due on Sunday, February 26th at 11:59 p.m. You have to use MLA formatting, so that means header in the top left with your name, the instructor's name, the date, and the course and section number. Page numbers in the top right, double-spaced, Times New Roman, Arial, Cambria, Calibri font, 1-inch margins all around. Everything's checked for plagiarism through Turnitin, so make sure that you are submitting original content. Make sure that anything that is a quote or an idea from another source, whether that's the internet or whatever it might be, make sure that it is quoted correctly, cited correctly in text, that there is a bibliography. The essay does not require any sources, so you don't have to include any research. But if you want to include 1 to 2, just a couple of sources, you certainly can do that. Even if you do that, I do want to note that you will be required to find additional sources for your second essay. And then that means that you have to write to the bottom of the 3rd page at minimum. If you write shorter links, that will be deducted. So your topic, again, like I said, must be approved. You have to have the accepted general parts of an essay, an intro with a thesis claim, body paragraphs with main ideas and relevant and solid logical reasoning and evidence, conclusions, etc. Make sure that you have, like I said, a concrete thesis, at least 3 reasons. Those are your, say, 3 main ideas with good evidence to support, and then at least 2 opposing viewpoints or counter arguments with refutation. So remember, this is where you, in an argument, point out that the other side may not believe what you're arguing. You explain what that belief may be, and then you say, however, and you disprove that counter argument. So you refute the counter argument or disprove it. Your essay is, there's a couple of things that will contribute to the grade for your essay. The outline that you will be doing for this assignment, which will be done in this unit, is actually going to count towards your final essay grade. The goal for that is to give you a little bit of a boost or a bump in your grades. So you complete it, you get an automatic, I believe it's 15 points towards your essay grade. And then your final essay, you're going to submit that as a Word doc. That is required. Please do not submit a PDF, do not submit a text file, do not submit whatever it might be, a Pages file. Must be a Word doc. And if you do choose to use any sources or you have ideas that come from source material, make sure you also include a bibliography page on that as well. That would not count towards your page minimum, however. So just a few ideas, things that students have written about in the past that are, there's a wide variety of topics. I suggest you choose something that is of interest to you, something you don't mind spending the next several weeks focusing on, something that you care about or are passionate about. And that could be anything from, I've had students write about whether or about we should not use hormones in beef. We should not have, or we should or should not have a COVID vaccine mandate in hospitals, or things like we should, um, you know, uh, I don't know, legalize marijuana at a national level, that sort of thing. And the key here is that you are thinking through the parameters or specifics of that issue. So you need to not just point out that there's an issue, but it should have a clear proposed solution that accompanies it. So in this case, if, for example, if the topic that you want to talk about was the legalization of marijuana, the stance you wanted to take that it was that we should legalize marijuana, you need to clarify what the parameters of that are. So, do you mean on a state or national level? Do you mean up to a certain amount of ounces? Do you mean for medical or recreational use? So, a weak thesis claim would be we should legalize marijuana. A strong thesis claim would be we should legalize marijuana at the national level up to 2 ounces for recreational use. That would be a strong thesis claim that has very clear topic and stance and a proposed solution and has specific parameters around that. So think through what you want to talk about. What won't work is something that is a value statement or something that is a qualitative statement. So, for example, best or most, you may want to argue, for example, that chocolate is the best ice cream, or LeBron is the goat, and that's it's something that you may believe, and you can argue about, but it's not something that can ultimately be quote unquote proven with facts and research, because great or best are qualitative states and they're opinion based. So make sure you're thinking in terms of fact based reasoning. What can you ultimately use logical reasoning, evidence, research to help prove and show your audience that what your stance is the correct one. Um, so you're going to go ahead and move on. There is a topic proposal that goes with this. Like I said, you have to have this topic approved. So when you submit that, outline the topic and the stance that you're taking on the issue and what the proposed solution is. So again, you don't want to just tell your audience that there's a problem. You want to tell them what your solution for it is and why it's the correct solution. So please go ahead and move on. If that is approved, I will note it for you in the comments and you'll have 100. If it's not approved, I will have it graded as a 0, and I will leave a note in the comments with the revisions that are needed, and I'll also email you, and you'll submit that revised thesis claim via email. And once received and accepted, then it will update the grade. So that is your first essay. Let me know if you have any questions, but like I said, choose something you care about, choose something you're interested in, something you don't mind spending the next several weeks looking at, researching, writing about. Thanks.